guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. And I'm here today to bring you a review for One Piece Manga Chapter 999. Now, I knew there was going to be an Ace flashback, the Ace and Yamato flashback, but I didn't think it would be this light. I thought it would be more heavy than that. So I think what Oda done, he just gave us the facts, the important stuff. I do believe that if he wanted to, he could have had a full blown chapter of this, but he seemed to have kept it light. Good thing, bad thing, I guess each to their own. For me personally, I'm alright. I'm good. I'm good with how it was, but how basically we find out Ace rolled up to Onigashishima beforehand. And I think if I'm understanding this correctly, this is before he joined Whitebeard. So he rolled up on a good day for him. On a good day for him, he rolled up and Kaido was not home. Kaido was not home, there was no officers home, there was no commanders home, which is kind of surprising. Like I say, like I said, he rolled up on a good day. So he was able to run through there. I don't know if he had the Tobiropo at this time, but he was able to run through there, no problems. And then he met up with Yamato. They had a little bit of a fight, not really nothing major, nothing really full blown. They had a little of a fight, and then they became buddy buddy, kind of like Kaido and Big Mom. They fought, then they became buddy buddy. So that's what happened with Yamato and Ace, and so we see that now. And for me personally, what is most interesting about this first scene is when we have Ace and Yamato have their talk. And Yamato is asking about, what's it like they're on the seas, you know, who's famous out there kind of vibe. And now, what caught me off guard, first, not so much off guard, but Ace mentions Cavendish. He doesn't remember his name. He's like, yeah, this Cavendish guy, he's pretty hot out there. Okay, obviously, I'm the hottest, but, this Cavendish out there. And then, after Cavendish, Ace mentions Kid, Law, and Capone. He mentions these three names. And now, for me, I was surprised that Ace knew about them. I'm surprised Ace knew about them. But for me, this kind of makes me want to have had more expectations for just how good these guys are in terms of strength and then basically in terms of everything, because clearly, as we just found out, these guys were on the seas a few years before Luffy hopped onto the sea, but yet Luffy was able to basically catch up to them in terms of everything as we've seen thus far. We haven't actually seen Luffy versus Capone or Luffy versus any of the Supernova really, but it's kind of hinted that at least for, I would say, Capone and Law, that Luffy just outclasses them. I think anything displayed by Luffy blatantly outclasses Law and Capone in any fashion. And for now, Kid, but Kid for me, at least for me personally, Kid is portrayed to be just as strong as Luffy, and this is portrayal goes back to pre-time skip, and I feel like it has followed through thus far into Wano. In when we introduced two Kid, the Kid Law Luffy fight, for me that portrayed Kid and Luffy to be equal, especially when they did the giant pistol and Kid did his attack, the two giant attacks, portrayal to be equal kind of thing. When they were both trapped in Udon, they were both doing the same amount of work. You could argue that Kid was doing it better because he was doing it with one hand. And to get me, the betrayal was there. The only thing that could slightly give Luffy an edge over Kid is that Luffy has learned the Ryo, sorry, and now I feel like Kid may have it as well. He may have, because he could hear and see everything that was going on in New Dawn, right? When Luffy was trying to learn it, right? So maybe he got up some pointers, and then when he went off, he learned it himself, or maybe we don't know what, you get me. We don't know what Kid has seen behind the scenes, so maybe he saw it somewhere else, and he's like thinking, maybe I need to learn this, and then he went off and learned. When he actually had the time to go off and learn it, that he learned it, or it could be that what I just said, plus the fact that he saw it with Luffy and that. So we don't know if he knows the real, but basically what I'm thinking is that the supernova are supposed to be Luffy's rivals to get the One Piece, but Luffy just seems to be outclassing all of them, and I'd have really liked for them, some of them, to be at least on his level, if not just slightly under it. But Luffy just seems to be outclassing all of them. So that's what thoughts came back to my head upon hearing that Ace had met them previously. So we have the whole thing with Nami talking to Otama and Momosuke and Shinobu realizing that Yamato is related to Kaido. They freak out, whatever, blah blah blah. We have the taxi service of Marco. You know, Phoenix Fire taxi service. And so now Marco is gonna grab Zoro and take him up there to the top so he can fight Kaido. And now it looks like Queen and both King are not gonna let that happen. But I do believe that Marco will do job and get him up there. Maybe you might have to dash him up there while he goes back and fights King and or Queen, but he will definitely do job. So now basically there has been a bit of speculation about who took up the position. No, yeah, there was a bit of speculation about who took up the position of second commander after Odin left. And now I'm pretty sure that this chapter basically outlines that nobody did. It was stayed vacant, and then Ace took it. But we do learn that Ace wanted to go back to Wano to free it, but Whitebeard is like, no, you're not ready, son. And he probably would have said son as well. Like, you're not ready, son. Like, Kaido will kill you. Get stronger, then maybe I'll allow you to go. And then Marco and what's her name? I forget her name, but Marco and you know who I'm talking about were on it. Like if you ever got strong enough, like they would have gone along for the ride. So there was another thing which I just remembered I'm gonna mention now. Is that when, Yamato was having her conversation with Momo and Shinobu, uh just letting them know about Ace being Roger's son, Luffy's brother, blah blah blah. She whips out Odin's diary, journal. I like that word, but journal, and she goes on to about how mentioning that how Luffy has the D in his name. So it made me think that Odin wrote stuff about the D in the journal. Yamato knows this information herself, but it's also in the journal. Now, granted, I don't think that this information will get to Luffy and company. I think the journal will be burnt or destroyed in some shape or form, but it's quite clear. Well, maybe it's not that she has the info. But anyway, talk about the last bit of the chapter. Big Mom, Big Mom is at top. She's at top. She's made it to the top, and this automatically made me think, damn. We got two Yonkos at top, and at present it seems like Zoro is going to get there first. That could lead to something very interesting, but I doubt it. I mean, interesting in the sense that Zoro could do something bad, but I doubt it. There's no way he could come up top. But yeah, could you just imagine though? Zoro gets up to the top, like, yeah, boy, bring it on, Santoru. But yeah, the fact that they're both at top is really a big problem, and I don't know what's gonna happen there. In all honesty, but for this bit of the chapter, they're talking about where they're gonna drop Onigashishima when they get back. But for me personally, the chapter really ends on a funny note for me, and I'm gonna read it again. Maybe some more sense will come up too. So Big Mom says to Kaido, on the day rocks fell into ruin at God Valley, I gave you that legendary model of the fish fruit. You owe me for life. So a fish fruit. It's no matter what. So it's a legendary fish, whatever. But regardless of the model of the fish, you can't swim. You can't swim. So at the end of the day, it just seems pointless to me to have a model of a fish fruit. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's just my thinking of it. So that's the chapter. I think it was pretty standard, nothing too amazing. So I'm gonna give it a 3-star review. So like I said at the very beginning of this is chapter 999. To see my predictions for chapter 1000, check the video that will be displaying itself in the end cards. Do not miss that out. If you manage to stick out for the whole of this video, I'll guarantee that you'll like that video. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you have not already, please go to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.